Hey, what's up guys? Houston here. And for those of you just finding our YouTube channel, welcome. Please remember to hit that subscribe button and the bell. And for those of you that's been following me and supporting me, as always, salute. Now, today guys, we have a banger. The reason is for you guys that are rebuilding your credit or you trying to find other ways to help build your credit. This video is definitely for you because we're talking about the best credit cards for beginners with no credit check. Now, here's the thing about it. There's 4 levels to this here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to break it down so that for you guys that are beginners building your credit and everything, or you're just starting to rebuild your credit, I think if you follow this strategy, I promise you, you'll get better results and faster results. And the reason is because we're structuring to build the base down. Once you build the base, then you can build up everything else. So that being said, let's jump right into it. Now, the first thing when trying to build your credit as a beginner with credit cards and stuff, the good thing that's on the market now is that you can use your debit cards. Okay, there's debit cards out there that actually help you build up your personal credit. And so the first debit card that I want to talk about is Extra. Okay, it's Extra. The reason that I like it, again, with your debit card, you don't have to worry about no credit check. That's the first thing about it. You don't have to worry about no credit check. And here's the thing about how it works. All right. And we're going to talk about secured cards, but I want to explain to you why you want to start using these here cards. OK, because there's a couple of them. So with Extra, as well as the Zorro card, there's another one called the Zorro card, and they work the same way. I'm about to put that on the board so you'll know. All right. Now, the way that these cards work, okay, is using the debit card. You're making your purchases, okay? So with the Extra card, you connect your Extra card to your bank account. Once you connect your Extra card to your bank account, all of your regular debit transactions and stuff, at the end of the month, they're going to report it to the credit bureaus. So for those of you that may be paying rent, your landlord don't want to work with you and report your rent to your credit to help build up your credit. Now you can use the Extra card in order to do that, or the Zorro card to do that. Okay, and say that you may be in a car, right? And you may be at one of those buy here, pay here, right? That don't report to the credit bureau. Well, now by you hooking your bank account up to the Extra card and you paying your car payment with your debit card, now you actually will have transactions that's reporting to help build up your credit. Okay, that's the reason this is so important, because now where lending institutions that don't want to work with you, or vendors that don't want to work with you to report to help build up your credit, now you have a choice. You have an opportunity to help build up your credit just by using your debit card. Okay, and like I said, the way it operates is that you do all your debit transactions on a monthly basis. Okay, they tally all of those transactions up, and that's what they report to the credit bureau. This is something that's going to really change how people actually build up their credit. And for you guys, I know, start with the foundation like this. I promise you, you'll build your credit up much faster and stuff because of every transaction that you use with your debit card. So now their debit card transaction is no longer a waste. You're actually leveraging, right, and building up your credit. So that's the reason that I like it. So those 2 cards you want to check out is the Extra card and the Zorro card. Those are the 2. Now, let's step it up a notch. Now you have another one, okay? That other one is called Credit AI, okay? And again, no credit check. All right. With Credit AI, you also get your pay 2 days earlier. Okay. That's the cool part about it. So instead of if you normally wait to get paid on the 10th and the 25th, now you're able to get your payday on the 8th and the 23rd. So you're getting your pay 2 days earlier when you sign up for Credit AI. Okay, and it also helps you build up your credit. All right, and again, looking at these here type of cards and stuff with no credit check, they're reporting to your credit, and it's all focused on the money that you're actually generating in your bank accounts and stuff like that. And these here cards are easy to be approved for. Now here's another one. It's called the X1. All right, and again, with the X1 card, no credit check. They look at your bank limit. That's what they determine how much of a limit they want to give you. Usually it says 5 times that limit of your bank account or whatever. But again, they're looking at what's in the bank account, how much you're making and stuff like that. So in terms of your regular credit and stuff like that, it's no longer depending on that. All right, so that's the reason that this is so important. So that's the first level. Okay, that's the first level of building your credit as a beginner with no credit check. Now, the next level, you're talking about credit cards like Patel 2. Now, this is a card. If you building up your credit, you're a foreigner, you don't have no social and stuff like that. Again, these are cards that you can get even if you don't have credit, you don't have a social. Now, you also have Toro. And for those of you that have signed up with some of these cards, how do you like these cards? Are they reporting on your credit? You know, are they giving you decent limits? Let me know. Put a comment below. Let me know if these cards are something that you like to help you build up your base. Okay, again, these here cards, they're made and designed so they won't charge you a lot of fees and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, most of these cards, they won't charge you annual fees. So I know that's definitely a big help for a lot of people when they're rebuilding their credit or building up their credit as a beginner. Okay, so let me know. You have another card. You have the Deserve. Okay, so again, you're a beginner or you're just starting over. A lot of people, you'll be amazed at how many people that have a lot of money and all they ever did was just did all their transactions with money. They never built up their credit and stuff like that. So again, when they try to go get a car loan and stuff like that, the car lenders charge them a high interest rate because they have a thin file and stuff like that. So this is why if you start with the base, with these easier credit cards to be approved for with no credit check, that actually look at your income to be able to help you build credit, you'll leverage much faster. Okay, now here's one I want you all to be aware of, and they're okay to help you build your credit. Applied Bank. Okay, but just remember, they may charge annual fees, and the fees may be high. Okay, you have Applied Bank, you have Varo. Varo is another good one that's starting to help people build up their credit as well as Academy. Okay, now again, this would be your second tier. Your first tier of building your credit would be start with the debit card. Okay, start with what you have in the bank and stuff and hooking it up to these cards and let those monthly transactions that you do with your debit card, let those cards start reporting. Okay, that's where you want to start. That's your first tier. Then your second tier will probably be these Patel, Toro, Deserve, Applied, Varo, Academy. These are your second tier level cards that you want to start with. All right. Now, most people would think, well, what about secured cards and stuff like that? I'm going to get to that, but you have to understand, again, there's levels to building your credit the right way, especially if you're a person that wants to get up to the 750, 800 range and stuff like that. Leveraging more positive trade lines and stuff like that is really going to help. All right. Now, here's some of the secured cards that I would recommend. Also, for those of you that may need short-term loans and stuff, I'm going to show you a lender that does free cash advance with no credit check. So just let me get this out of the way and I'll talk about that. So just stick with me, okay? Now, here's the thing about secured cards. You don't want to just sign up for any secured card. You don't want to do that. You want to be able to sign up with a secured card that's going to help you build a loan relationship and get you the maximum amount of money with financial institutions. That's what you want. So not just any secured card will do. You want to actually focus on these here secured cards, and I promise you, if you focus on these secured cards, you're building a relationship that will actually be able to give you more capital. All right, but let me back up one moment. One level of this that I would tell you, if you're a beginner building your credit and stuff, then this is something that you have the secured cards, okay? But we're going to put that on hold right quick. All right, we're going to come back to that. But this is something that I would do if I were you. Student cards. If you're a beginner building credit and stuff, student cards, okay? Student credit cards, because they're easier to get approved for, okay? Now, again, if you don't have no credit or you're just beginning with credit and stuff like that, you may want to consider student credit cards. Again, like I said, we're building a base up so that way you'll be able to get more money, right? Now, let's talk about that company first before we jump into the secured card, so that way you'll know. All right. So here's a company. If you need a free cash advance with no credit check, that may be able to help you. All right. And that company is MoneyLion. Okay. And here's the criteria in order to get a free cash advance loan with no credit check. And again, this also helps you build up your credit. Loans are very important when you're trying to build up your credit, especially if you're trying to get to the 750, 800 credit score. You need to have a loan on your credit. So here's some of the things that you have to have, okay, to qualify for this. You have to have a bank account that at least is 2 months old, okay? You have to connect the bank account. All right. And number 3, you have to verify it. Okay. So you have to verify with your ID and stuff like that. But with MoneyLion, the maximum amount of loans they actually loan up to is $1,000. Okay. But it's a credit builder loan. And again, you need a loan on your credit, okay? If you're trying to build your credit up, you need to have a loan on there. And I understand people, well, I don't want all this debt. Yeah, I get it. But in terms of if you're trying to get to 750, 800 credit score, bro, you gotta have a loan on there, okay? I'm just being very transparent with you. Now, let's talk about these secured cards, all right? And why these secured cards is what you want to have, all right? Because you're building a long-term relationship. The first secured card we're talking about is with the credit unions, all right? I always tell people start with the credit unions first. So you have the Navy, E-Rewards, right? Secure card. All right. Now, understanding with Navy, it's usually you have to be military, right? You have to have a family member. So if you want to learn how to build a relationship with Navy Federal to get in with them, then what you would have to do, excuse me guys, is put a comment below and say, hey Houston, can I see the Navy Federal video? And I'll send you over that video so that you can actually understand how to actually build a backdoor relationship to Navy Federal. However, again, let me help you all understand. Navy Federal is not the only one that's generous with helping people build their credit and giving large lines of credit. That's something you have to understand. Another person that's stepping their game up when it comes to this is First Tech. And they're easy to join, okay? First Tech is another one that's easy to join. Now, why am I telling you to get secured cards from these? Just bear with me. Let me finish, give you the names of them, and I'll tell you everything. So hold on, all right? Then you have DCU, Digital Credit Union. You have MCU, for people that are in New York and stuff that always have a hard time trying to find lenders to borrow money and stuff, MCU. Now here's one that I really like. It's PARDA, P-A-R-D-A, P-A-R-D-A, PARDA Credit Union. Amazing credit union, and I hear they're stepping their game up. Now, for those of you that are trying to get a car loan and you have bad credit, there's a credit union for people that need a car loan that have bad credit, and it's called Peach State Credit Union. They're out of Georgia, and they said that they're able to, if you have bad credit, they still have products to help you get qualified for a car loan. Okay, so that's Peach State Credit Union. Again, guys, if you all have used some of these creditors and stuff like that to help build up your, put a comment. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know if any of you used Peach State to get a car loan, or what did you think about their service if you used them, okay? Now here's another one, America First. Okay, so America First. So those are some of the credit unions that have secure cards I would go with. Now here's the reason why. You have to understand the reason why. Not only does these companies offer secure cards, they offer secured loans, they offer business bank accounts, okay? Because you want to get to that next level. So once you have established personal credit, the next level is business credit. Because once you get to the business credit, say that you want to invest into some real estate, or you want to buy a car from Toro. Well, you don't want to max out your personal credit card. The reason is because it'll increase your debt to income ratio, and it'll bring down your credit score. What you want to do, you want to be able to get qualified for business credit cards and business lines of credit. So that way, if you max out this business credit card, business line of credit, it's not going to affect you on a personal side unless you stop making payments. But that's the reason you want to start with these here credit unions. And again, the only one that's non-military, and the rest of them you can join very easily by joining their organizations, nonprofit organizations that they support. Now, let's talk about some of the banks that offer secured credit cards, again, to help you build up your credit. You have U.S. Bank, that's for one. You have Capital One. Now, again, I would go with Capital One. The reason now understanding with Capital One, they're going to pull all three credit bureaus. That's the only thing that sucks about it. They'll pull all three credit bureaus. Where most of these, they're only going to pull one of the credit bureaus, okay? But at the same time, depending on your credit score and what type of relationship you have with Capital One, they may just go ahead and give you a regular unsecured card. So that's the reason that they're on the list, okay? Now, also, you have a Citibank, and then you have Wells Fargo. Now, a lot of people are upset with Wells Fargo right now, especially because they found out that Wells Fargo is going to be closing their personal line of credit. Okay? Now, if you have a balance, people are like, oh God, what am I going to do? Well, here, let me explain this to you. If the financial institution closes it, then it will not affect your credit unless they start reporting it as a negative. But once they close it, they should not be reporting, okay? They should be making arrangements for you to pay it off, or they may continue to report it and you just pay the balance down, but it should not affect your DTI, okay? So if you have a Wells Fargo personal line of credit and they close it down, it should not affect your credit score, okay? It may affect your DTI because you still have this debt, but in terms of your credit score, it should not affect your credit score unless you stop making your payments. So I would tell you, if you have a personal credit line with Wells Fargo, just continue making your payments till you get it paid off. Like I said, they don't supposed to continue paying it because they initiated closing the account. So they don't supposed to actually be reporting. But at the same time, if you continue making your payments and they're still reporting, hey, it's a benefit to you, right? So that's the reason that I tell people, if you see this and you have a personal line of credit with Wells Fargo and it happens, don't panic. Just continue making your payments and stuff, because again, it should not affect your credit score in a negative way. All right. Again, for those of you just finding my YouTube channel, again, always welcome. Please subscribe. And for those of you that follow me and support me, let me know if this is beneficial to build a foundation to start rebuilding credit. And again, for those of you that's following me, as always, salute.